Could be. But there's also a degree of completion just in this. So we can also think of all of these things as a way of connecting with our partner and establishing a common center. So from a certain perspective, I don't need to do anything beyond this. If she wants to come in and continue her attack, I can move with everything that she does. So she can come around with the punch. And of course, any time we have that. But it really helps us to know that just this common center, this connection that you have with your partner is more important than immediately rushing to some foreordained final outcome. So first we have to connect. Actually, first we have to open, and then we have to connect. But that's another lesson. What I want to look at right now is what are the circumstances under which an attacker will do what we call a technique to themselves. And so let's go back to Ikkyo. When does an attacker ever do Ikkyo to themselves? Well, let's imagine Ikkyo as an attack. Because I promise you, Ikkyo, Nikkyo, Sankyo, Kotegaeshi, Shibunage, all of these forms exist in many other martial arts. And somebody gets hold of your arm and they know what to do with it, they're going to do with it to control you, to break you, to subdue you. So I'm going to just simply stand here as a in this case, I will even be helpful with my arm. And I will ask her to come up and do Ikkyo Iri Mi to me. What do I need to do to make her do Ikkyo to herself? She does something a little bit different from what I'm accustomed to most people doing. But the last time she did it before this one, she did what I was looking for. I may need to change my lesson. But no, that's okay. She's coming and grabbing here. All right? And when she grabs here to start me this way, she's actually doing Kotegaeshi to herself. So I have to shift gears a little bit to work with what she's really doing. Okay, there she did. There's a little bit of one. Most times when I do this, I'll do it with rolls. The person will walk up to do Ikkyo, and they'll do this. So what you're doing is fine. Totally blew my lesson, but what you're doing is perfectly fine, because your Ikkyo is fine. But when somebody attacks another person with Ikkyo, they have to do this to set it up, typically. She's not. She's coming in here and raising it up this way, and then somehow rearranging that. So I have no objection to that at all. doesn't really change the fundamental root of the lesson. It's just that one went to Kotegaeshi and the other one goes to Ikkyo. But if she comes and grabs this way to set it up, then she has to do Ikkyo to herself to do Ikkyo to another. And if we learn to simply pay attention to those things, and so now I will ask you to do that. Okay. In yesterday's class, we spent all day learning to focus on emptiness, empty open space as opportunity. And if I'm focusing on her and all of the part of her that's solid, then she does this, and she does this, and oh, now her solids are moving my solids. And I have to find my way of freedom very late in the game by turning it into this emptiness. But if I'm more and more and more accustomed to orienting my art on this side of the equation towards emptiness, then I need to see her, but I need to see the space around her as more important for where I want to direct my energy. And that means that when we're looking at this, and she says, Ikkyo, and I say space, then it's just right there, and she gave it to me. She did it to herself. And so I can let her attack me with this arm twisty stuff. And if I'm late and I miss my opportunity, then we can do the things we were looking at yesterday and turn into empty space this way. And it might reverse all by itself. But sooner than that, because I'm now more accustomed to looking at her and incorporating her into my awareness, but paying more attention to everything that is not her and directing my attention there. So in this case, just there. And it doesn't need to be there, it doesn't need to be there, it can be really anywhere that is not her, but we want close and simple, just like that. Now, because she's complicated things, let's look at the one she was doing. See that? She has to do that to herself to do her particular preferred way. And it's working just fine, so I'm not suggesting you need to change anything. I need to change what I'm doing in order to accommodate her. All right? So it's the same lesson, but a different expression. There you go. There it is. And you want to see her doing Kotegaeshi to herself in the attempt to do Ikkyo to you. But I can't do it by thinking, oh, I'm going to do Kotegaeshi. I can't do it successfully very often. I can't do it reliably. What I have to do is say, there's a whole bunch of tangle of solids here. And the energy that she's committing wants to go this way. So let's open this up into spaciousness and get it somewhere safe to go. And that's really all we're trying to do with any of this. Space, space. So now you have to work on two things rather than just the nice, simple Ikkyo. But Ikkyo, Kotegaeshi, as they present themselves, depending on what your partner is attempting to do to you. They can't do anything to you without doing something to themselves. We get to capitalize on what they're doing to themselves.